Good evening and welcome to Poland Daily. I'm Nicholas Richardson and this is the news. The number of victims of Monday's earthquake and aftershocks in Turkey and Syria exceeds 5,000. More than 25,000 people have been injured. This morning the ground in Turkey shook again. This time the magnitude was 5.6. The epicentre was near the border of Matyalaya and Adiaman provinces. Rescue teams from around the world, including from Poland, are already on the scene. A race against time to rescue survivors is underway. The United Nations estimates that up to 23 million people, including more than 1 million children, may need immediate assistance in Turkey and Syria. Residents of the Turkish city of Gaziantep, located near the epicentre of the earthquake, are in the worst position. If this were my province, this building would already be unearthed. There is not a single person here. We are lying under the snow, without a house, without anything. We can get through this. We can fast for 40 days, but how can we endure all this? Let's at least recover the bodies to conduct funerals. Should I commit suicide? What should I do? Where should I go, God? You did it. That's where my in-laws' grandchildren are. We've been here for 2 days. We are devastated. You can see what it looks like. As for the state, they say the state is here. Where is the state? Where have they been for 2 days? We are begging them. Give us permission. We can get them out. We can do it with our own strength. Dramatic calls for help come from under the rubble. People are screaming, hitting metal parts, making phone calls, sending text messages, and even appeals for rescue via the internet. Unfortunately, not everyone can be reached in time. In addition to tragic information, there are also optimistic ones about people being extracted from under concrete slabs. There was a birth under the rubble of a building in Syria, but rescuers managed to save only an infant. Thousands of people are currently under this rubble. So far, they're not sending anyone to help. There is no one here. We are all lost. This is not what we expected from the state. It is necessary to mobilize all the people. In the quake area, many hospitals have been damaged or completely collapsed, and roads are partially impassable. Ankara has provided 54,000 tents and more than 100,000 beds for Turkey's affected residents. President Recep Erdogan has declared a 3-month state of emergency in 10 provinces affected by the powerful earthquake. We have received offers of help from 70 different countries and 14 international organizations. We have spoken to 18 heads of state and government. We currently have 3,549 deaths and 22,168 injured. Our greatest consolation is that so far more than 8,000 of our citizens have been rescued alive from under the rubble. In response to Turkey's request to activate European Union civil protection mechanism, the European Union has mobilized search and rescue teams. Assistance was offered by 13 member countries. Poland is among them. This is a coordinated action, and I repeat, Turkey and everyone else can always count on us in this way. Our reputation in Europe is well deserved here. Moments after midnight, a plane with members of the Hussar Poland group landed at Gaziantep airport. Poland has sent a group of 76 firefighters, 8 trained rescue dogs and 20 tons of rescue equipment to Turkey. A mine rescue unit also left for Turkey today. Indeed, our fire department has extensive international experience in such missions. This is extremely hard work. The group that left will physically work day and night, so within a week, if there is a need and an opportunity to rescue people who are buried, we will send another ship. Although Syria is not among the countries of the European Union, it is ready to send humanitarian aid, also at Damascus's approval. Countries from all over the world are giving assurances of their support. We are the Search and Rescue Advisory Team. We brought 2 tons of equipment, everything we need to set up a base of operations. We are self-sufficient. We have our own food, our own water, our own tents. We also brought search and rescue equipment. It is important to coordinate the work so that many people don't perform the same tasks, and this can happen with such a workload.
And equipment for communication.
Yesterday there was the strongest earthquake of magnitude 7.8. This phenomenon often occurs at the junction of tectonic plates, where the friction between them is accompanied by aftershocks. Turkey is particularly at risk because it lies at the junction of 3 continental plates. Financial and in-kind collections for earthquake victims are already underway in several cities in Poland. Both private and institutional donors can join the campaign. Donated items should be unused and suitable for winter conditions. We have decided to launch a relief collection for the victims of the earthquake very soon. You may support the victims in a very simple way by going to the Caritas.pl website and there making a voluntary donation to an account number of your choice with the word HELP, or by sending a charity text message with the word HELP to number 72052. Experts compare the force of the cataclysm to the explosion of 130 nuclear warheads. The total number of victims of the cataclysm may exceed 20,000. and thus we may be dealing with the biggest tragedy in decades. Members of Parliament are continuing work on the so-called windmill law. Changes to the legislation on the location of wind turbines are one of the conditions for unlocking funds for disbursement from the National Reconstruction Plan. Solidarity Poland, despite concessions from Law and Justice, says it will not support the bill and expects further changes. Voting is tomorrow. The draft amendment to the windmill law is a liberalisation of the 10H rule, introduced in 2016, which stipulates that the distance of a wind turbine from buildings must be 10 times the height of the installation. The consequence of this rule was to exclude the possibility of building a wind farm on almost the entire territory of Poland. It is important for us Poles to use this green energy. It is in the interest of the state, even more so now that we are a frontline state and there is a war going on behind our borders. Russia has always liked to play with energy. The government's draft amendment to the law on investment in wind power plants stipulates that windmills can be built at a distance of not less than 700 metres from a residential building. By way of some compromise, this distance of 700 metres was adopted. Also, the government expressed approval to increase this distance. Initially, the bill that was submitted to Parliament in July 2022 stipulated that the distance of a wind farm from a residential building should be at least 500 metres. The war against windmills in Poland continues at its best, as you can see. Completely pointless are these amendments. I believe that these 500 metres and giving the opportunity to local communities to decide whether they agree with this type of investment was the best solution. It can't be that when it comes to windmills there will be some kind of free Americanism. These provisions in this law primarily safeguard residents and their demands. Objections to the government's draft are raised by Solidarna Polska, for which even 700 metres of distance from residential buildings is unacceptable. Solidarna Polska will submit an amendment signed by all MPs, the subject of which will be the adoption of a solution to locate windmills 1,000 metres from any infrastructure in rural areas. I hope that Law and Justice will support our amendment. Of course, 1 kilometre will be a better solution, but I don't know if this issue is fixed with the European Union. This is one of the milestones we have to make. The draft amendment to the windmill law is one of 37 milestones Poland has to meet to unlock funds from the National Reconstruction Plan. Another key step to help ease the conflict with the European Union is the amendment to the Supreme Court Act, which will return to the same tomorrow, with amendments from the Senate majority. The essence of this law and carrying it out in the Polish Parliament is that it should be in the shape it was worked out. Therefore, it seems to me that amendments that go in the direction of subverting the entire essence, so to speak, are not good amendments. So we will opt to adopt this law without amendments, of course. Both bills are likely to be approved by the Sejm as early as tomorrow. Poland has been waiting for more than 20 months for the disbursement of 35 billion euros in low-interest loans and grants under the National Reconstruction Plan. Polish Patriot missile launchers already deployed in Warsaw's Bomowo district. At the moment, training is being conducted for the soldiers from the 3rd Warsaw Air Defence Missile Brigade. The ongoing exercises with Patriot systems are aimed at deterring the aggressor. We are showing the combat readiness of the Polish Army, National Defence Minister stressed on Tuesday.
This team that is practicing is a team of experienced, trained people, and now they are just honing their skills, which serve the security and defense of our homeland. Soon a team made up of soldiers from the 3rd Brigade will leave for the United States later this week, and when they return, they will already come with experience in running the battlefield management system, a state-of-the-art battlefield management system. In 2018, when we ordered the Patriot systems, we ordered this system. We also ordered a state-of-the-art battlefield management system. Only in the U.S. Army and the Polish Army is this system being implemented. This is the Integrated Battle Command System, a state-of-the-art, once again I repeat, network-centric system that will allow very effective and efficient use of the various elements that precisely provide security against air and missile threats.
That's the news. Thank you for watching. Stay with us for the weather, Poland Daily Business and more programmes. But from me, it's have a good night and a better tomorrow.